Okay, now this is my own personal suggestion for making the test easy. When you see an equation, solve for y. All of the different methods that we discuss and that we will continue to discuss can be made easier if they're just in slope-intercept form. So we're going to look at a few examples of how to solve for y. And then we'll look at other examples of graphing, substitution, elimination, finding out how many solutions there are. But in those examples, I'm going to put them in slope-intercept form because I'm going to assume you have this skill. Okay? So here's our equation. We want to solve for y. Once again, attempt this before I show you. So pause it. Attempt it, then watch me do it, okay? Then if you see that I did something different and you made a mistake, adjust your work, try it again, and keep on pausing it. That's really going to help you make sure you know how to do this well. Okay, so first step, minus an x from both sides. Now I've got 2y is equal to negative x plus 8. I want to get rid of that 2, so I'm multiplying 2 times y. To do the opposite, divide by 2. Now we need to divide everything by 2, every single term by 2. And I get y is equal to negative x over 2 plus 4. Now if I wanted to change that equation around just the tiniest bit, I could change that to negative 1/2 x plus a 4. And the only reason I do that is so that we can clearly see that the slope is negative 1/2. Alright, that's really my only purpose in doing that. Okay, so here's our next one. Pause it, try it yourself. Okay, first I want to get rid of the x term. Okay, we've got 2 x's, so I will subtract 2 x's from both sides. Okay, now I've got 3y is equal to negative 2x plus 12. I've got 3 times y, so divide by a 3. Divide everything by a 3. And I get negative 2x over 3 plus a 4. And here we've got slope, of course, is negative 2 over 3. Okay. Solving for y, pause it here, try it yourself. Subtract an x on both sides. Okay. Now I've got negative 2y is equal to negative x plus 6. Divide everything by a negative 2. And we're going to get y is equal to x over 2 plus a 3. Alright, so we get y is equal to x over 2. Once again, let's not forget that that means we have 1/2 x plus a 3. Alright, so that's our slope, 1/2, and the y-intercept is 3. Okay. Alright, so here's your problem. Minus x from both sides. Now we got a negative 2 is equal to negative x minus 6. Divide everything by a negative 2. Alright? We can't just divide it by 2, otherwise that negative won't go away. Here's the other thing we need to remember. Negative divided by negative is positive. So that becomes a positive 1/2 plus 3. Okay, because we basically had over here, we're going to include that minus to call that a negative 6 divided by a 2. Okay. Alright, so in this one's a bit harder. And there's one thing here that you haven't seen much of, and that is that negative 3. Now, if we want to deal with the negative 3x, all we have to do is add it, okay? So it's not like a big deal, all right? So 2y is equal to 3x minus 8, and then all you have to do, divide by 2, y is equal to 3x over 2 minus a 4, all right? And we are done, okay? And that's as easy as that is. So as you're preparing for the test, make sure that you can change everything into this slope-intercept form. One extra little thing I want to talk about if I have 3/4 y is equal to x, and I want to get rid of that 3/4, we know that when we're dividing, we need to multiply. So you see we're dividing by 4. I'm going to multiply by a 4. Okay? And I'm also multiplying that y by a 3, so I will divide it by a 3. All right, so basically we're going to multiply by the reciprocal fraction. All right, so now I get 4 times 3, well, that's a 12. 3 times 4, that's a 12. Okay, and 12 divided by 12 is a 1. 1 times y is just y. Okay, so when you encounter a fraction, that's how you can deal with it. All right, so this is the end of the solve for y segment.